Hi guys, my name's Smudge Live, and today I'd like to show you how to use the Freefly camera in Valheim. Hi guys, my name's Smudge Live. I am one half of the Vet Live YouTube channel and typically am the cameraman. Both Vet and I have absolutely fallen in love with this game. We've fallen in love with the things that you can make and the way that you can present them, the way that you can show off the beautiful buildings that you've made and created. We get an awful lot of questions on how to use the Freefly camera, and today I'd like to take the time to show you all the little nuances and details of how the Freefly camera works, so hopefully you can make some fantastic videos of your own. To use your Freefly camera in-game, first you have to be able to turn on the console commands. And to do that, you start off in your Steam library, you right-click on your Valheim game, and you select Properties. In here, you'll see there is a box for something called Launch Options. What you need to do is you need to type in -console and press Enter. Now when you launch your game, it will give you the option, or you will have the ability to enter the console commands. From here, launch your game. Now that you're in your game, you need to be able to turn on those console commands. So to do that, you press F5 to bring up your console menu, and you type in dev commands. This turns on your dev commands. We're going to turn on a couple more just to make it look pretty, a little bit prettier. So TOD 0.5 is going to give us a nice time of day, and we'll go for ENV clear, just to brighten up the weather a little bit. Now that we're here, we can type in Freefly, and this will turn on our Freefly camera. Now, when we come out of this menu, we're no longer attached to our character anymore, and we can fly around. Now that we have our Freefly camera on, the first thing that we need to do is turn off the heads-up display. To do that, you simply press Control F3, and we end up with this really clean picture ready to start recording. So now onto the controls. How do we actually use it? So as you would imagine, our W, A, S, and D keys move us forward, left, backwards, and right. So this gives us the freedom we need to move around. We also have our spacebar will lift us up, and we have our control key will lower us down. The last few controls that I'd like to talk to you about are the buttons on your mouse. Now these completely change the way the Freefly camera works and the way your video will end up when you finish with it. Now the first one is the speed. So you can see here we're moving at a fair speed. We can fly around at a fair old pace, but if we scroll the mouse wheel down, it slows that pace right down to a complete crawl. Or if we want to do something a little bit dynamic, we want to fly through a building quite quickly, we can scroll it up quite far, and the camera becomes almost uncontrollably quick. The next one that I'd like to talk to you about is your left mouse click. Now what a left mouse click does is it picks a target and keeps that target in the center of your screen. So let's take our character model for an example. So we'll get nice and close so we know it's in the center. We left click on our character model's head and we zoom out a little bit to give ourselves some perspective. And now what will happen is if we hold down the A or the D keys, you'll notice that it keeps sort of our target in the center of our screen. It doesn't matter if we zoom out or zoom in, up or down, it will always keep that target in the center of the screen. And this is a really nice feature for when you're trying to do a pan shot around a building. You want to get a really nice, slow, gentle pan shot around that building. And the last control that I'd like to talk to you about is a right mouse click. Now, a right mouse click will continue whatever input you currently have when you click it. So to give you an example, if we reset up our left mouse click, so we click here to pick our target, and now we circle around like so. Let's make this look a little bit better. There we go. Now, all I'm doing here is I'm holding down the A key, and it's making us turn left and sort of float round our target here. But let's say I want to get a nice slow pan shot, and I don't want to have to hold down the A key the entire time. So while holding the A key, I just give a little right click, and now when I take my fingers off the keyboard, it continues. So currently I'm not doing anything, this is doing it all by itself. It would work in the same way if we wanted to do something in a straight line. So if you wanted a nice steady straight line, again, I'm not holding anything on the keyboard, I simply held W, pressed right click, and the camera will continue off in whatever inputs that I currently had. Now personally, the only time we ever use that feature is for slow pan shots. So if we pick our target again, we zoom out, we slow the speed right down, and then we set it. And we will set that, it usually takes us about 2 or 3 minutes to do a complete sort of flow around a building. And that's the only time we would ever use that feature. The last thing that I'd like to show you is something called FF Smooth. It is a command that you find in your commands window. What it does is it irons out all the jerkiness that you get from your key inputs and your mouse adjustments. So what we have currently is the mouse is a direct input. So if we move the mouse, it moves the camera, and it's really jerky and it's quite hard to get really nice smooth shots. Whereas if we change it and we type in FF Smooth space 1, it turns our FF Smooth on. And what this now does is it irons out all those small little adjustments in your mouse and gives you this beautifully smooth input into your game. So we can, again, if we want to get a nice little pan shot around, we can slow this right down, and it gives us this really smooth cinematic input that we really try and get on our videos. Now that we know how the Freefly camera works, let's use a nice piece of music and some simple editing to try and put together a beautiful short clip of a few buildings that we've already made.